Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Bears Den podcast number 54. We got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about the Kansas City game, the roster, and as always, please show us some love. Like us, follow us, subscribe to us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And now let me introduce the rest of the Bears Den. We got the superstar Todd.
Hey, everybody.
The megastar, the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. And we got 2023 Kutztown University Hall of Fame inductee from the Golden Bears, Uriel, joining us.
So what's going on, everybody?
I'll kick it off to you.
All
Kutztown. Right. For everybody who doesn't know, where is Kutztown?
So Kutztown is about an hour, 15 minutes from Philadelphia. It's known. Andre Reed is alumni of Kutztown. They actually just named the stadium after him 2 years ago.
I saw that.
And John Mobley also was alumni. So we have a couple guys that went to the NFL. And if you remember, he didn't stay with us long, but Jordan Morgan was a lineman. They got drafted to the Bears out of Kutztown. So pretty good competitive football in Division II.
Uh-huh. So, my friend, why did you choose the Chicago Bears to be your team?
So I've been a huge fan of the Bears since '83. 4 years old. I was Walter Payton. I just love the way he ran the ball, never ran out of bounds. I mean, he was a do-it-all back. And I've been a huge fan since the age of 4. I always say if your kid isn't a fan of your favorite team, then it's your dad's fault. So my dad didn't take me to the Eagles games growing up in Philly. So I kind of gravitated to Walter Payton and the Bears.
I should have been a Philadelphia fan as well. I'm from Allentown, and it was a Philadelphia house when growing up, and somehow I became a Bears fan as well. So, Uriel, I'll kick it off to you. Kansas City, Chicago. What did you see Friday night? You happy, mad, disgusted, upset?
I mean, it's a combination of both. Of course, I would like to see a lot more competitive play out of our starters. We didn't look too good offensively. I like the way we came back, with the second and third units. But I did want to see more out of our first unit. I know you had to pull them because last game, don't want to risk injury, but Kansas City isn't a pushover team, so I definitely think we could have done more. I wish we would have, but I don't cry too much over preseason games because that's what they are. It's just like exaggerated practice,
Todd, what did you see on that field Friday night? You happy, mad, disgusted?
Well, I was pretty disgusted for about an hour and a half, and then it got fun, but just because of what Bajan was able to do, and I just no, it was disgusting. We were texting, and it was terrible. I mean, back and forth. It was just they couldn't. They got zero pressure. The defense was just. They were just out there, just taking up space. They weren't. I can't even talk about it. It was terrible. The second half was fun, but against a bunch of guys that don't have jobs today, right? So
right. So we're saved. Chicago Clarence, the bad guy. What did you see Friday night?
I'm concerned.
Me too.
I'm concerned about the pass rush. It just seems like I beat a dead horse when I continually bring up the fact that we did not get an edge rusher in the offseason, in the draft. And, signing a Dingbo is just not doing it for me. That guy, even Montez Sweat, what have you done for me? We paid you all that money, and we're just not. This was another time to where it seemed like we have made a free agent, or in Montez Sweat's case, someone we traded for. We made him rich, and we're just not getting our side of the bargain. We're not getting our needs met, and we said it going into this season, off season. There were two places on this team that really had our attention that we needed to go after and fix. One of them was the left tackle position. And as everybody knows, even the coaches are concerned about that position. There's no clear-cut winner to,
No, there's
what they
not.
had going on for that. There's just not, and it just seemed like we're forced to go with Braxton Jones because that's who's been playing that position for the last 2-3 years, and then you figure like, okay, well, what are we going to do about edge rusher? And the guy who was supposed to be in the mix, you had him out there on special teams for whatever reason, I don't know, and he gets hurt and he's going to miss a couple of games. So, it's just stuff like that. It just really always defines this football team. This, decisions that we make, and it seems to be harmless, but it comes back to bite us. Putting Booker out there on special teams is idiotic. I mean, I'm disappointed in that. And now we don't have somebody that was supposed to be a pivotal piece in reserve role, somebody who can go get the quarterback. But watching that game, I was concerned, and I'm even more concerned now. We don't want to have to blitz to get the pressure on the quarterback.
So our boy Edmund is telling us what's up. I know this is more for you, Urel. I know you and him are really good friends, drive bikes together and everything. Yeah. Edmund's been on our show as well. Thank you, Edmund, for the shout out. So, Todd, let me kick it to you on this one. Should we be pressing the panic button already? It's preseason. Not all the starters played. That's clear. But if the ones would have played all 60 minutes, we were going to get blown out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were going to hang 40 on us. I mean, Patrick Mahomes toyed with us. He didn't need to turn his uniform in for laundry service.
Yeah, I mean, best that's 40-14 maybe. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
well, I mean, look, they're playoff. They're a Super Bowl contender.
Yes.
And they're building. But still, those guys should have been fired up. It was the last chance for a lot of those guys, and and one of them made it. One of them did what they needed to do to make the team, but that was about it. I'm real concerned. I mean, everybody's most places have us like 16th, like dead in the middle of the pack, and I'm afraid. I didn't necessarily agree with that going into the season, but I don't know. That might be right, and that's where you don't want to be, where you're stuck in the middle, and it just that seems to be a place where teams just live for years. You either want to tear it down or you want to, but you got to make the right choices. And unless they honestly believe they're going to get pressure up the middle, and maybe they do, maybe they do, because they've talked even about Deo playing inside too, kick inside. So if they, if they put three guys in the middle and do a 5-man line on a blitz or whatever, or bring safety, if they, maybe they can get pressure that way. I know, the first game I was real impressed with the blitz and how aggressive they were. It seemed you don't want to show everything you got in the preseason.
No, we don't.
So it's like I get why they would back off of that, but they really are going to have to generate pressure with Grady Jarrett, and they're going to have to get pressure from the inside. They just that's because and maybe that frees up Montez, but Dexter and I don't know what Shamar Turner's situation is, but it seems like there's a lot of guys that are a little bit nicked up, and it is real concerning. And we it's an awful schedule, and right out of the gate, it's really difficult. Yeah. So
Urel,
I'm concerned.
I'll let you answer your boy Edmund. Do we need do we need an edge rusher right now? No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, did y'all see last week they were touring around with a possible trade of Jaquan Brisker and a second round for Trey Hendrickson? Did y'all hear any of those rumors?
I hear rumors, but I think you can really get sucked in on social media with some of this stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think I would have pulled the trigger. No. I know Brisker has his injury issues, but I definitely feel like we need an edge rusher. I'm not too sold on Montez Sweat. He hasn't really done nothing for us yet. I really do like Austin Booker. I think he's developing. I think his rookie year he did really decent. But we just don't have that standout guy that we had in the past. I don't know who's out there as far as who got cut, who got released or whatever, but I don't think it's anybody that can be an immediate fix for us. So I'm just hoping Dennis Allen can draw up a scheme that'll help us out and hide our flaws.
So Chicago Clearance, Grady Jarrett, is he really the difference maker, or are we just screwed with this defensive line this year? And my next question is, people are already saying we overpaid for Deo. 3 years, $48 million, $16 million a year, 32 guaranteed. Do you think we already overpaid for him? Or do you think everybody's just in panic mode?
Well, it's too soon to say if we overpaid for him. We don't know. He hasn't played a game yet. It's still preseason. The proof's going to be in the pudding. Grady Jarrett is an upgrade over what we had. So it remains to see what kind of impact that he's going to have for us as well. I would like to think that he's going to be able to assist us in the run defense and being able to generate pressure up the middle. But at the same time, so like I've been saying before, we have got to have a bona fide pass rusher on that left end. There's just no simple way else to put it. That is the weakness of our defense, especially now that we got injuries in our secondary, which is the strength of our defense. Those guys cannot lock people up, not in this days and time with the rules predicated on being able to score points. We are going to get taken apart like we have before in the past. I think the guy's name is Zadarius Smith. Isn't he out there?
Yes, he is.
We need to park our ass outside his house and write a check. He could go get the quarterback. He wants to play for a bona fide contender. I get it. But money talks. If you're going to give Dale all that money, find out what the asking price is. And if it's not too out of the way, get him on this football team. Otherwise, you're just telling me this is just another year that we're in the rebuilding mode. And I don't like to even to talk about that because we had better not be in the rebuilding mode. We're supposed to be taking the next step.
All right. Look,
Go ahead,
so the rumor is on Zadarius Smith is that he is difficult, and I haven't heard clubhouse cancer, but I've heard pretty close to that. And he was there last year with Ben Johnson. I think he might have been there the last 2 years. And so they know the player, and they haven't been aggressive to go get him. And he's been available for, since the end of the season. Right. Supposedly he's in talks with Detroit, but the only other big name out there is Clowney, who, you can have.
See, at the end of the day, if you get Smith and you get Clowney, is that really going to make a difference? Honestly, I mean, they're both in the downside of their careers. Is it really going to, the move we should have made would have been Henderson or Micah Parsons? That would have been.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, but
neither of these are going to be back-breaking moves.
Do you want to give up, because we're still a middle of the pack team?
Yeah,
that means we're going to have a good draft. Do you want to give up top draft picks, for high-paid talent? I mean, now I would have did it for Micah Parsons because he's a
and we still talent. Could, but
yeah, I know.
Or somebody still could.
Well, the other thing on that is they got to want to play for you too, right?
Yeah.
And those guys are, Parsons isn't near the end, but a lot of those guys are 30 plus, and if they're going to play 2 or 3 seasons, well, who's right on? I mean, like Smith, he played for the Lions. The Lions are right there. Why wouldn't you want to go back and do that, right? I mean, that's so. It isn't like, oh, of course I'll go play for Chicago. Well, why do I want to go play for Chicago, right? So, So you got that problem too, and I don't want to. I know we're talking about overpaying Deo, and we haven't seen him play yet, but where this money is, what is a free agent defensive end going to get? I mean, I think that's probably in line. That's half of what the big guys are making. The top paid guys some guys are at 40. So. It feels like an old bear move to get cheap, and this is our guy. He's going to break out, and we got him for 16, and hey, we saved $1, right? That feels like the old Bears. What we've been acting like we're not anymore, right? Since the Johnsons, hiring and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But that's what I'm saying, though. So if you're going to go out there and you're going to change the way you operated before by giving Ben Johnson $13 million, which we all can agree we ain't done that before. Why do you do all of that if you're still going to turn around and play games and not fully address your needs. What did Smith get last season? 9 sacks. Who else on this defense is doing that on that left
Nobody.
position? Nobody.
Right.
You could take 2 people and add them together, and we're not getting 9 sacks. You know, so what are we doing? We're cutting ourselves and slowly bleeding to death. If we're going to go into the season, we already did that at the left tackle position. We all know watching this football team perform, we got a problem at the left tackle position. Whether we want to come out and really readily admit it or not, it's an issue right there. So we got the same issue on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, so these coaches know these players a lot, and like if you go back to the free agent shows, right? It's like, okay, well, we got Dennis Allen, so obviously we have an inroads for Chase Young, you know, and he didn't get any more. He's got less money than Deo, but I can just tell you, if they wanted him, they probably could have got him, which makes me think that Allen didn't want him, right? So, you know, that's the information we don't have.
So let's go to the offensive side of the ball.
Mhm.
I mean, I felt that both tackles did not play well Friday night. I mean, what was your take on our I mean, I guess at this point, it is what it is with Braxton Jones. He's average. That's all he's ever going to be is average. I mean, what do you see at our tackle position?
I mean, I've seen him live because, you know, I go to 2 games every year, and he ain't it.
No.
I'm not a big fan of him. I think Darnell Wright's still growing, so I'm cool with him. I think he's going to be, if not one day a Pro Bowler, he'll be, you know, a mainstay for us. The guy from BC, I can't pronounce his last name, with a Trapilio. I think he's going to be okay. I don't know his footwork, but I think in the run game he can help us. But yeah, I still think we should have went out and got another tackle, left tackle, you know, to be certain, because I don't think he could be a left tackle. I don't know if he would even consider moving right to left and putting Trapilio at right. I don't know. But I think we're still a ways from having a solidified line. But yeah, we definitely need help at the left tackle.
Todd, what's your take on our tackle position? Because I didn't think Darnell Wright played well at all Friday night. He was shaky at best. And there's been reports that this staff's been in his ass as well.
Yeah.
I could see why Friday night. Like, he did not have a good game either.
Yeah, I think what it's going to come down to is which one of those guys are they going to move. And I feel like, especially with Ozzie being swing right now with, you know, with Braxton all, but I don't know if they come out and said he's the starter game 1. It's foregone conclusion that they're going.
Yeah, why would you not start him if he's played every preseason game?
You've got Ozzie as the swing. You know, you should be working him every day at left, and and I think it's with the understanding that, hey, maybe by the deadline he'll be good enough, and we can still get something, you know, for Braxton, because somebody will make a trade. But I mean, I don't know what you get, but you could get something out of it. I think, you know, I don't know why you know, and Clarence was talking about this. You know, why didn't we draft a left tackle? Why did we draft a right and then try to switch him?
Right.
You know, and you know, Ursery's start. Ariante Ursery played in Minnesota. He was drafted around the same area, and maybe a little before, but we had 3 second-round picks. We could maneuver a little bit there. He's a true left tackle. He's starting for the Texans, but the Texans has the worst offensive line in the league last year, so I don't know that means he's good. That was a mistake. And you can always nitpick this draft afterwards, obviously, but Ozzie was rated about where we took him, but you know, I just, you know, but left tackle is a hard position, man. There's only so many of those guys that are great. So a lot of those guys, you draft the right and you teach them how to play it, and that's the scenario we're in. And Braxton's going to look bad 4 or 5 times a game. It's just going to happen. And I don't know. Maybe Tooney makes him better. Maybe, I don't know. But hopefully they can figure out who's going to switch before the trade deadline. But, you know, who knows?
So, Chicago Clarence, I already know you're not a fan of the tackle. I already know he is not a Braxton Jones supporter. So cover your ears, everybody. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. It's disappointing. I think they thought Trapilio could be moved to left tackle. It didn't pan out. Benedek is supposedly like right there. Like, he's the closest one, they said, on his heels. They're saying he's the first
Yeah. No,
tackle
yeah.
off the bench.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, Clarence, what's your take on? I mean, I already know what you're going to say, but it's going to be bad. Everybody, cover your ears. Our tackle position.
I mean, I just think that at this time, I'm going to give Darnell Wright a little bit of leeway because he has been coached his whole time at the Chicago Bears by idiots.
Mhm.
And finally, we got some people in there that's going to hold him accountable. And he's feeling that right now. I think that he's better than what he's shown. I think that we all can agree that he's shown in previous seasons that he's better than what he's performing right now. It's just going to take them a little while to get his bad habits out of his performance level. So I'm going to give him a pass. But Braxton Jones sucks. And I said it since day one. He is terrible. His footwork, he is horrible in run blocking and even worse in pass blocking. Too many times you see the quarterback running for his life and Braxton Jones is on the ground. He's getting manhandled. He told the league that he was susceptible to being bull rushed, and he wasn't lying. You know, I don't think he could block me, and I'm 53 years old. So I can't stand the guy, So going into the season with this guy as one of either your number one or your number two option at that position is an indictment on Ryan Poles.
It is.
Shame on you for giving us this when you knew it was a problem, and you've known it was a problem for 3 years. For 3 years, you've known that that's an issue, and you want to supplant somebody back there to be your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, adequate protection. So I can't on my high horse enough about Braxton Jones. It's a problem. He's been a problem, and everybody knows it.
I mean, I agree. So, Uriel, first play of the game, a handoff to Zacchaeus. We fumble. I mean, to me, when they brought it up on social media sites, that's really bad because normally we script our first 10 to 15 plays and we practice them and run them and practice them. How do you fumble the first snap like that? Is that an indictment that we just weren't ready? We were nervous. I mean, what's your take on that handoff right there?
I mean, how do you fumble a handoff at the pro level, period? I don't get it. I don't know if it was nerves or because, like you said, I'm pretty sure they practiced that play multiple times.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, he is new to the offense, but I mean, you're at the pro level. Like, you should not fumble a handoff at this level. So, but they always say whenever it's a fumble handoff, that's on the QB. So it's his job to get it to him. But I don't know.
So it's never the running backs, right?
Oh, never the running backs.
You're a former running back. It's never the running backs.
Never the running backs.
But at the end of the day, Todd, I mean, these are offensive number, Todds. Like, this still isn't a Chicago Bear offense that we've seen. 424 total yards, 75 plays, 29 first downs. Now, this was mostly by our second and third stringers.
Yeah, I mean, anything beyond the first quarter doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
you can put them up there. That's pretty and all. But,
Yeah.
But no, it's not, that doesn't matter.
So, Clarence, let me ask you something. There's a very personal issue going around. And we talked about not talking about this or talking about it. Za Frazier. There's no facts out there. It's mostly talk, rumors, but the biggest rumor is that we knew he wasn't going to play this year, and we still drafted him. Should we or should we not have done that? And Za Frazier, please, whatever you're going through, get well. Football doesn't matter. Please get well, get healthy, take care of yourself and each other. But should we, if the rumors is true that we knew before the draft that he was not going to play this year, should we have drafted him?
Well, absolutely not. Like you started off saying, we don't know. We don't have all the facts, but
Right.
we have too many other issues on this football team that we could have addressed with that pick. So, I would like to believe that we didn't do that, knowing that we had other issues. So I wish the young man well. I hope he can get whatever's going on settled so he can go ahead and realize his dream of fun, because you can't take opportunities like this for granted. Look at the Sanders guys right now. You got guys who always been, the cream of the crop at their school, and one of them's looking for a job right now, and the other one's sitting on the bench behind two other people. You don't take opportunities like this for granted. So it has got to be something monumental for that guy to be physically able to play, but not mentally able to play. So whatever it is, I wish him well. I'm going to give Ryan Poles the benefit of the doubt, even though I call him an idiot at his approach at the left tackle in the edge rusher position. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one and just say I don't believe that he drafted this guy knowing that he wasn't going to play. That whatever surfaced after the draft, after he was selected.
Uriel, you were a former player for Kutztown, football player. What's your take on this?
Like I said, when it comes to personal issues, I know people grieve differently.
Yes.
I know for me, because I always say, especially in sports, you're going to face some type of adversity. Somebody's going to die, somebody's going to get hurt, you're going to have an injury. It's all about your mental toughness and how you overcome it. And some people just don't have the mental toughness it takes to overcome some of those things. But like he just said, this is a once in a lifetime thing. You got to be mentally tough to be able to overcome something like that to play at this level. So I'm kind of worried, even if he does come back, is he going to be able to maintain at a professional level? So that's what's kind of worrying me at this point. But I know if you're given a shot, you got to take it, because
yes,
we might draft another corner next year and he never get a chance to hit the field. You never know.
Right.
So, but like I said, I do wish him the best because, personal issues can, play effect on you mentally. But I hope it's something that he can overcome.
Mm-hmm. We got a Minnesota guy in here talking trash, but that's fine. Skull State of Mind, what's up, man? We'll see you Monday night to kick off the season. So, Todd, just give me your take on this whole Za Frazier thing. And again, I wish the guy nothing but the best.
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned, don't even worry about football. Just take care of yourself and each other. Don't even worry. Just take care of yourself, my friend. So,
Yeah.
Todd, what is your take on this Za
I
Frazier?
mean, unless they can, I don't believe they knew there was a situation. They wouldn't have done that if they suspected. I mean, and I think if it was out there, these teams talk to each other, and there's advisors for all this stuff, and there's guys that do investigation work on all these guys, especially the high rent guys, but really everybody. And so unless Poles just comes out and said, yeah, we knew that, I'm just going to assume they did not. And, his measurables are great. His speed is great. I mean, actually, they're a little too good for where he was drafted. I'm wondering a little bit about that. But I think it was small school stuff and transfers and things. I didn't spend a lot of time, doing a deep dive into his college career. But I just, and obviously, there are, again, so there's things more important than football, obviously, and
Yes,
you just need to get it together, and so, but I just, you just chalk it. We've been down this road a little bit, with the Nate Davis thing, and dealing with that. That was big money free agent.
yes,
and there was a lot of talk about Nate Davis ahead of time. Tennessee couldn't have been happier to see him go. So, when we did that. So, but so that doesn't reflect well on Poles either. But I until they come out and say, yeah, we knew it, I'll just assume they did not.
And I'm going to assume they did not know it because you could have just not drafted him and got him as an undrafted free agent.
Right.
And not guaranteed or paid or for a lot of that. Skull State of Mind, my friend. I haven't forgot about you. Send him a request to do a crossover. We're going to talk before Minnesota. I haven't forgot, man. You're written down on my pad. So with that being said, Uriel, let's kick it you. Let's go over the roster. Who's on the team? Who's not on the team? Real fast. I'll let you take the running back room. That's not the running back room. There is the running back room.
It's a small room.
Yes. Roshan. I'm surprised we're carrying three.
I was going to say the same thing.
Roshan, Manangwai, and Swift made the team as a right before this podcast. It could change any second. So, what's your take on our 3 running backs?
I like him. I think Monangai had played pretty well in the preseason. Tough running back. I mean, I think they said he's only had 1 fumble in college or 0.
I don't think it's 0. Yeah.
Yeah, 0. Like, that's unheard of. I'm surprised that we only got 3. I mean, I've usually known teams to carry at least 4.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if Roschon can step up and be that David Montgomery role, like for the Lions. We haven't seen, because I thought he was an excellent back coming out of Texas. So there was talk that Ben Johnson didn't like Swift when he was in Detroit.
I heard that talk too.
How that's going to work out. But he's a tough guy. He's from Philly, so I'm rooting for him. But I don't know. I think we got solid backs. We got a combination of power, speed, receiving, and pass blocking. So we'll see what they bring to the table.
Yes, Travis Homer is on IR, Edmund. So, Clarence, you want to add anything about our running back room or the quarterbacks? I mean, the quarterbacks thing isn't. The only thing shocking to me is we didn't re-sign Austin Reed. We're not carrying any quarterback on our practice squad. Every team usually does. But, I mean, you want to add anything about our running back room?
I think we've got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger fish to fry for us. The quarterbacks go, but the running backs. I mean, you got Roschon on short-term IR, right? He's going to miss 4 to 6 games, something like that.
He's on. He made that.
No, he's
hurt?
on that.
No, he made the active roster.
He might be hurt, but he's active.
Yeah, so you got him. I think this is a big year for Roschon. I really do. Right. I don't really think that he's made the most of the opportunities as well. He was supposed to be this physical back coming out of Texas, and we haven't seen that. I mean, a lot of times it looks like he can't wait to fall down. I think that he needs to show some stuff this year. Swift doesn't like to run the ball in between the tackles. We all know that. He's too quick, ready to bounce it outside and get out of bounds. And Ben Johnson doesn't like that, So it's Monangai kid. I was disappointed that Brown didn't get more of a look. I really liked what I saw out of him. I really did. I mean, this is the thing. Ben Johnson likes play action.
Right.
The only way you can sell play action is the other team has got to believe that you're going to run the ball. And our last 2 coaches, our last 4 offensive coordinators didn't like to run the ball. Just going to run the ball. So these guys are going to get opportunities. They got to produce, especially Roschon.
Todd, anything you want to add about the quarterback room? I'm ready.
A little bit. Britton Brown was signed today to the practice squad. He can come up 3 times, I think. And if Roschon's actually hurt, I wouldn't be surprised if he was up for game 1. But no, as far as I mean, Swift is there last year with his contract, playmaker guy, catches the ball in the backfield. He's the lead back there. The other 2 guys, at least when they were drafted a couple years ago with Roschon and Monangai this last year, this hard-nosed runner, but it was like the second thing they said about those guys was pass pro, pass pro, pass pro. And that's been the thing coming out of this front office that all year has been, no block, no rocket. I mean, what they did really shows that to be true because Monangai's a monster in blocking, and Roschon was supposed to have been, and I've seen him do it some, but I think it was a little overhyped just watching the games. But so that says a lot, and and then Homer's IR, so he's potentially back too in a few weeks. But Wheeler
Homer's special teams, though, right? That's where his value is.
Homer's he's mostly special teams. He might get a few carries. And I think DJ probably gets 4 or 5 carries a game on this team.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
I think so
And I think Luther Burden can run the ball in the backfield too.
So, Uriel, let's kick it back to you. Here's our tight ends and wide receivers. To me, I guess the only argument, and Dunerve got cut today because they
Yeah, I just
signed
saw
two
that,
from
yeah.
the two waiver claims. They claimed DeMarco Jackson, a linebacker, and we got back Jalen Jones, our cornerback.
Yes.
So what do you think of our wide receiver room and tight end room? I think this is the deepest rooms I've ever seen for these two positions.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm
in my
excited.
entire life. For
I'm
Chicago
excited
Bears.
about both. I don't know if you guys were catching some of the replays, like Luther Burton on them motion blocks in the red zone.
Yeah,
He looked really good, man. He was cleaning people clocks. So, and I mean, what can you say about Jadon Walker? Like he's been balling all preseason. I'm glad they gave him a look. I thought Tyler Scott didn't maximize his opportunity. I mean, I like that he had the speed, but I think Walker outplayed him, so he deserved a chance. So, and I'm interested to see how Loveland fits in. I want to see him block.
I think that
like
kid's
to see
gonna
him
be a beast.
But I think downfield, you got 2 6'6", 6'5" tight ends coming at you. Like if Caleb missed them, man, that's a problem.
I think that Loveland kid's gonna be a beast.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see why they drafted him.
Yeah,
and
because
why
we talked about it before. Like at the draft, we was talking about Warren versus him, but
Right.
I like what I see.
Yeah, I think he is going to be a beast. Clarence, what do you think of our tight end and wide receiver room? Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like I said, the best I've ever seen.
Yes, it is. But are we going to be able to keep our quarterback upright? So you're going to be able to get them the ball. And I'm kind of concerned about how sloppy we have been on offense. The practices, the preseason games, the one game he looked good at, we were going up against a bunch of people that's not playing football right now. And Caleb Williams in the offense got some shine. Can we make a first team defense look like we did? And that's the question of it. These guys they got to get it together, man. We know a lot Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings because that's not too shabby of a defense that we're going to be going up against. And even with Caleb Williams and all the mockery that he had to go through and incompetence last year on offense, he still threw 340-something yards against them last year. Put 29 points on that defense. So with these weapons, he should be able to duplicate that or even do even better. But we just can't have this guy getting sacked as many times as. I mean, I worry about all the little things other than what you asked me about. I like the weapons. That's just all I can say. I like the weapons.
Todd, what do you think about our weapons this season?
Yeah, this is by far the deepest we've ever been, especially wide receiver. I mean, usually we'll have a 2 that we'll say is a 1, and we'll have a couple of 4s that we'll say are 2s and 3s. That that's just not the case now. And Jahdae Walker, everybody was rooting for that. I mean, he wasn't a guy that we could put out there. So many guys. No. We lost one guy, really. We lost a tight end that went to another team. But if we had left him exposed, he would have been picked up. So we kind of had to, and I'm really happy for him. But it should be. I don't know that we bounced around the idea whether Rome becomes the 1 and DJ becomes the 2, and maybe that happens because maybe he takes on, more of a running role and, kind of that San Francisco thing with the guy they traded to Washington. What was his name? He was a big deal.
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel. That's right. So, maybe he takes on that role a little bit, but we're deep and that tight end room. We talk about the cornerback room being the best room. It might be the tight end room right now. So I mean the one guy who was the guy that we lost, the tight end that we
Carlson wasn't it?
No, we brought him back. We lost the other guy to Joel Wilson. We lost Wilson to Tennessee, which makes sense because he's had a chance to get on the field there. He wasn't going to get on the field from the practice squad with this tight end room. So that was smart on his part. But we've never had more weapons. Never.
So, Urel, the offensive line, or a much maligned offensive line. I mean, we sunk a lot of money into this offensive line and still left tackle and right tackle. I can't believe we're keeping 10. honestly.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's a
tough.
lot of offensive line. You can trot out a complete second string offensive line, but I don't really don't. The one that I don't understand we're keeping is Amagachi. Like, to me, he's injured. You could put him, stash him if you really wanted to. Nobody would claim an injured player. I just
Right.
think. Do you think 10 is too many? Not enough? What's your take on our 10 offensive linemen we're keeping?
Yeah, traditionally, I mean, depending on the makeup of your team, you usually keep 8 to 9 at most. But yeah, when you keep a 10, that just shows you got a problem somewhere. You know, I'm not too sold on the backups that we're keeping either. You know, so I guess it's one of those. Let's wait and see and find out. I think with our interior being upgraded, we should be able to run the ball better, which will take a little bit of pressure off of our tackles in the play action game if we're successful on first down, because, you know, that was our biggest challenge. You know, 2nd and 9 every time is tough because they already know what you're going to do.
Yeah,
and is we didn't really use a lot of good 2 tight end sets, which we will this year. So that may be a huge difference as well. So it's a wait and see. I think the style of play for this offense this year should help out the O-line dramatically. So we'll see.
Chicago, Clarence or Todd, anything you want to add about our offensive line?
I heard they were giving Amagachi snaps at guard for the last 2 days, and that might be, and supposedly he was doing better there. So that might be a step forward. I don't know what that means for Bates as the backup center. Now, he actually played well,
Yes, he did,
and he hadn't done anything. This is the 3rd year now. The previous 2 years he was here. So I don't know. We might, one of those guys might end up on IR to bring back Duvernay, or we need to bring back a long snapper. Somebody's got to go to IR to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody turns their ankle because we need another body at a different spot. And it could be Amagachi.
Clarence, anything you want to add about the offensive line, quick? Because I'm letting you kick off.
Well, Jonah Jackson.
Line. Go ahead.
Jonah Jackson has a history of getting hurt as well.
Yes,
so
that's true. Yeah.
I don't think that it was a bad decision to keep as many as we did. But what I'll just say, I won't get on my soapbox about the left tackle position. The rest of the line, we made upgrades at. We made upgrades at the center position, which is what I think is really important because that's the person who makes the line calls, and him got to be the same page. I think that with better coaching, we upgraded that. We upgraded better offensive play calling. I think that this is going to serve us well. We just need these guys to hold up.
So, Clarence, your favorite spot, defensive line. So we ended up keeping Billings, Booker, Dexter, Hardy, Jared, Adingbo, Robinson, Sweat, Turner, and Williams. I mean, what are you seeing out of this group? Because we didn't see much against Kansas City, but I'm hoping and praying Dennis Allen did not show anything intentionally. Because all we're hearing is, we're going to interchange these pieces. They're interchangeable pieces. But I was disappointed with this group Friday night. I mean, Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing whether it's a preseason or not. But if Kansas City's running, they've been their vanilla stuff too, and they just made us look bad.
They did.
So that's just disappointing. But my main thing with preseason has always been, let's get out of these 3 games healthy as we can be. We got a lot of injuries in the secondary. We don't need to be sitting up there worrying our business on what we look like against Kansas City too much. I mean, you want to look better than what we have been. I mean, you want to look like that you can get a first down and get them off the field on 3rd down. And as you said, Mahomes didn't get his jersey dirty. So that's the only thing that I would point out. But Grady Jarrett didn't play. Our best player in the secondary didn't play. We're missing pieces all over in the secondary. So, I need to preface that as well. I still think we need an edge rusher. I'm not going to stop mentioning that. That's my only problem with this D line. I still think we need an edge rusher.
Todd, what do you think of our defensive line?
You don't think Dom Rob's going to come through this year and make it happen?
No, No, like that, and that is the one that I was going to key on. Why are we?
Yeah,
He
I don't
had
know.
2 sacks against San Francisco. It looked like we hit pay dirt, and then he's never showed up since. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
Why we kept him?
Just I don't know. We'll see what Odingbo can do. But yeah, Domrod would have been a cut for me. But
Edmund said ASAP, Clarence, we need edge. Yes, sir, we do. So, secondary. Uriel, I'll let you kick us off. We got Blackwell, Brisker, Byard, Gordon, Hicks, Johnson, McLeod, Owens, Stevenson, and Nashawn Wright. The guys we have active right now.
I mean,
and then we claim Jalen Jones as well, who's not on this list.
Yeah, I love our secondary, especially when they got their head on straight. I mean, I told you I was at that Washington game when Tyreek Stevenson made that mistake. It was a long drive home, but I think our secondary is probably one of the strongest parts of our defense when they're all playing together and healthy. So I'm looking forward to see what they bring to the table this year. Is Terrell Wright? He's hurt, right? Did I see that?
Terrell Smith is out for the year.
Smith, I mean.
Yeah, it's out for the year. Yeah.
I like him because I thought he was really pushing Tyreek Stevenson to play harder. So I think him being out was going to hurt. But overall, and I actually grew up with Kevin Byard's older cousin. He lived around the corner from me in Philadelphia. I didn't realize that till he came to Chicago. But yeah, I think our secondary is probably one of the strongest parts of our defense. So I'm excited for them.
So Edmund said he was crying the whole way home too because he was at that game.
Yeah.
He sent his videos. I remember that very well. So Chicago Clarence, what do you think of our secondary? I mean, Nashawn Wright got lit up Friday night. Nashawn Wright did not play well Friday night. I know our defensive line.
He didn't play well. You ready? So, I mean, at the end of the day, we got injuries in our secondary. That's supposed to be the strong part of our defense. And until we get all our horses back there, it's not really much I can say about the secondary. We got a bunch of people back there. I mean, we had tryouts and put people on the team just so we could finish the preseason with bodies back there. So I don't really think that we've seen our secondary at full strength. So I'm not going to get down on them too much. The injuries, the people who had a chance to make the team is, disappointing. But at the end of the day, long as we got Stevens, Gordon, and Johnson back there, it's a pretty strong group.
Todd,
along with Brisker.
Todd, what's your take on our secondary this year?
Yeah, like I said, obviously what Clarence said that we're beat up. I think we were really fortunate to get Jalen Jones back today. I don't know what happened in Arizona with him, but I welcome that signing just as a depth piece because he's come through for us before. Obviously the thing we haven't talked about in a week or two is Brisker's ability to stay healthy. That's going to be a big part of this.
It is.
Because he's in a contract year, and it's just everything, is up in the air with him. I mean, one hit the wrong way. This is the same for everybody, but obviously with his history, one bad hit and he might be done. So that would be bad. But it's still, it might not be the strongest room. I guess the receiver room and the tight end room probably is taking it over just on an injury basis. But in the defense, it's still the strongest room on the defense.
So our boy Edmund says Brisker's in a contract year. Yes, sir, we know. So, guys, let's head into our final thoughts, and I'll kick us off. I mean, I'm just ready for the season to start. Seems like we're getting punished now. We had football for 3 weeks, and now we got to bye. But I'm just ready. I mean, I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very nervous because what I saw on Friday night it still leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. Even though we won, I'd still feel like it's a very hollow win. Because our ones would have got destroyed if we played the entire game. Yeah. I mean, it was just – but I'm ready. I'm hoping we can put nothing but pressure on McCarthy and make everybody show if McCarthy can beat us or not. So I would just apply pressure on that kid all night long. And I'm ready for Minnesota. So, Todd, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I guess I'll go negative. Our friend Cutler is embarrassing us still with his 4-day jail sentence and $350 fine and
Thank you, Evan.
the suspended license. I you know, if I'm the DA or whoever's the judge in this case, I mean, Jay Cutler has a mountain of money. What good is 4 days in jail for him? Hit him for, instead of $350, hit him for 35 grand or make him do a PSA or something. I mean, it's just stupid. I was like, really? That's we're trying to start a year, be positive, and I'm dragging us down, bringing it up. So
Yes.
anyway, that's
Addison is suspended, Edmund. So Urel, thank you for joining us.
yeah.
Man, we enjoyed having you. So 2023 Hall of Famer, Kutztown University. What is your final thoughts about our Chicago Bears?
I'm excited, man. I think one thing we got to do is win those division games. I mean, you think about it, all but one. I think we were in one score of
Right.
winning last year. So, and that's just coaching to me, which
It
I
was
think
coaching.
we've upgraded the coaching staff. So, and like I said, we've upgraded one of our weakest part of our team, which is the offensive line. So, I'm excited. Offensive, we got the weapons. Our defense is strong. If we can stay healthy, which is the key for any football team, I think we could do some damage in the NFC. So I'm excited to see. We'll see how it goes.
So the bad guy, Chicago Clearance, you got your blood pressure medication ready or not ready? You trying to keep it in check, or are you just ready to let loose? What are your final thoughts on our Chicago Bears?
Well, I think that this is going to bring a close to our pre-season shows, and we finally start to get to break down games and talk about what we saw the previous week. So I'm excited about that. Next show, we get to break down this Minnesota game, talk about McCarthy and talk about Addison and what we think is going to happen or what could happen. And so I'm just glad we made it out of the preseason without Caleb getting hurt or losing one of our wide receivers, or more importantly, losing one of those offensive linemen. I think that those are really, really big. I know our secondary is beat up, but it could have been a lot worse.
I agree with that. So guys, thank you for watching. Edmund, thank you for the comments tonight. So as always, you can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And until next time, guys, be well and bear down.
Fair enough.
Peace.
Bear down.